Good morning, PT on Ice viewers. We are live exclusively on Facebook this morning. I apologize for the delay of a couple minutes as we're still dealing with some Facebook desktop issues, but we'll get it all sorted out. And we are here. It is Fitness Athlete Friday, which means you're talking to the fitness athlete staff. My name is Mitch, lead faculty with clinical management of the fitness athlete crew. Just got back this week from Vancouver. So I just want to give a shout out to the folks of AMP Physio and anyone north of the border in Canada and those that were south of the border that came north of the border for the course up in beautiful Vancouver. It was a really fun weekend. My first time in Vancouver. We've been in Victoria last year, so this was cool to get over there to Vancouver and check the city out. Have heard nothing but great things about Vancouver as a city, and it did not disappoint. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to those folks that were there. Thanks for making it a really fun and exciting weekend, and for our gracious host of AMP Physio. So welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. As I mentioned, it's Fitness Athlete Friday, which means the topic of the day, as the long title proclaims, what should I do with all of this space for those clinicians trying to integrate community fitness into the clinic? Okay, so that's setting the stage. And this is a question that we get quite often, and one honestly that I really enjoy answering because it allows me to really kind of exercise my creative side a little bit, which I really like doing, which is when these clinicians or clinic groups or owners come into the option of more lease space, right? Well, let's say you're in a strip and the unit next to you becomes available, or you're able to take over an extra 1,000 square feet to your clinic, and you're thinking, man, your wheels start turning about what you want to do with that space. Maybe you're expanding and you're thinking about the idea of, if we went to a new building, a new location, and we had more space, is there an option to do some community fitness gym component along with our PT clinic that we have established, right? And so then it becomes this blank slate scenario of what should we do? What do you think is best usage of this space? How should we set it up? We're kind of new to this. Where should we go with this sort of thing? So that's the question. That's the framework that I want to answer right now, because we've been to a number of clinics where this is the case, where they've got, like I said, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 square feet worth of usable floor space. And it's really a good opportunity, if you can draw it up right, to do something in your community to make it a fitness forward center, right? And so this is for those clinicians. The question of who is it for? If you in your clinic right now are pushing a fitness forward mindset, if you are on board with diet, nutrition, and lifestyle factors being a large part of what's going on with people's lives when they're coming to see you with chronic pain, acute pain, and you're working on addressing those elements as much as anything else in your clinic, and you're saying, hey, we want to put all the pieces together. We want to give people a space where they can be fit, where they can be healthier, where they can exercise, and maybe my community doesn't have a good trusted gym across the street where I feel comfortable sending my folks. Maybe I'm in a community where it's a relatively small town, small community, and there isn't a CrossFit gym in town yet. There isn't a global gym, facility set up where I feel comfortable sending my people out to. Maybe you're feeling compelled to be that source, be that place in your community where you can bring folks in and get them a workout, get them moving, because the need is there and nobody else is feeling it, right? So this could be a lot of different folks. The one clinic group I'm thinking of had just a beautiful performance training space that was really underutilized, and they were working on it to say, hey, can we bring in some sort of fitness facility, fitness classes to this environment, and what would those look like, right? So it could be a number of things for you, and hopefully the ideas that I give you today may be generic enough that you can spin and apply those. And if you have questions, I would love for this to stir some back and forth. Send us a message. Reach out, give us the lay of the land in your neighborhood, and how we can basically best serve and best help you addressing some of those needs. So the first question outside of okay, this might be for me. I might feel that way about my clinic, about my community, about my people. I want to give them a space where they can work out and be fit and be healthy. I've got another 1,000 square feet that I can access. What should I do with that? The biggest question that comes up next is equipment, right? Equipment comes up next. Before you can answer the equipment issue, you've got to answer the question of what will classes look like? Because if those classes are very open access, here's the gym, go at it at any time of the day. The gym is open as long as we are open. We just want to see you come in, exercise, be healthy. The equipment you select and put in there might look different than if you were saying we are going to host a small group class option in this space. What clinic might best serve those people, right? So answer that question of whether or not you think that an open door, come in any hours of the day, 5 in the morning till 8 at night or whatever you may be open for, if that's what you want to utilize the space for, or what I would prefer, what I would recommend, what I would suggest is a small group class option. I suggest that because coming from our CrossFit background, our environment here, but prior to that, being in the open access, key fob to unlock the door and do whatever you want, I have anecdotal and data to say that people get better results when they're in a class environment. They get better coaching. We can reduce technical faults. The research which support that, when coaches are involved, technique improves and injury rates go down, right? So we can keep a thumb on all those components. We can put individuals through the workout that we feel is best suited for them. We can scale, modify, tailor fit things based on what we think they need most, rather than what they're just more comfortable with doing, right? So there's a lot more elements that we can have control over if we structure a small group class environment as opposed to just come in and use the equipment, right? We also find that we can address a lot more questions easier that way, right? Rather than, hey, what do you think I should do today? I just trained my legs yesterday. What do you think is your answer? You're constantly answering questions for folks rather than just saying, hey, this is the workout for the day and here's why. And let me go ahead and lead you through that workout and then come back tomorrow and we'll have another one, right? So I would suggest a small group training environment like that if you had the access to that, if you had the space for that. The next question is, do I have the staff to be able to pull that off? Do I have someone on my team, a coach, an aide, an assistant, someone that's really excited about this fitness forward approach of your clinic, that gets really fired up about it, that wants to spearhead this passion project a little bit, that is going to be the quote unquote full-time coach that may lead 2 to 3 class offerings per day. The simple startup option might be a morning, a noon, lunchtime, and an evening class offering, right? And maybe you're only shooting for 5 to 10 folks in each class. I mean, that would be a big victory if you got 5 people in each class and you were running 15 people through the door most days of the week. And then as your space and as you kind of refine your product a little bit, those might step up. Those numbers might become 10 or 15 folks a class, right? But what this would look like then is that you got this aide that's helping you out in the clinic, or maybe they're an assistant that's got a part-time caseload, and then they're also kind of part-time responsible of this fitness avenue of your clinic space, right? And in a lot of clinics that we get to chat with, there's at least one person on staff who's really geared up about this, who's really pumped about getting people squatting and deadlifting and exercising more, and wanting to see that in the clinic more, and maybe wanting to see that more of not a pain clinical avenue, but just say, hey, let's gather up folks, let's be the lifeboat in this sea of chronic disease. Let's lead from the front and take people under our wing and say, hey, we're gonna take good care of you. This is what we're gonna do, right? So there's at least one person on your staff, and if not, that's a gap, I would say, in your team. There's a void in your team that's worth looking at filling, whether that's a PT, a DPT, a PTA, an aide, a coach, an athletic trainer, somebody that you bring on board that's got this passion and this desire to kind of lead that fitness component of your division, right? So once you get this settled, if you say, okay, I hear what you're saying, maybe some small group offerings, maybe I've got somebody on staff who's really excited about leading this, what then does the equipment look like for that space? Now we can answer that question, right? Now we can say, if we're running small group classes of how many folks, 5 to 8 people per class would be good, for the space that we've got. What kind of equipment do I need for them, right? And a lot of times we think in terms of if we had to pair or triple people up for the workout, like in groups of 2 to 3, then how much equipment do I need to be able to supply for teams of 2 to 3, right? So in my head, if I'm going to run classes of 8 or 9 people, right, I'm looking at having 3 to 4 rowers available, right? 3 to 4 rowers or bikes. I wouldn't do both, right? Doing a little bit of each allows for not much growth in your class sizes, right? Doing 2 rowers and 2 bikes, although that you've got that diversity of equipment there, right? What you don't have is the ability to say the workout is rowing. Oh crap, we only got 2 rowers, right? So what I would suggest is make the decision of, hey, do we want to go with rowers or do we want to go with stationary bikes? And let's try to get 3 to 4 of those, whatever piece I select. Both of them are nice because both you can do 3-limb conditioning with, meaning if you got a bum ankle and you're on a rower, you can throw that foot, that casted foot over on a skateboard or on a med ball off to the side and still row, right? The bike is a bit more conducive to people that got shoulder stuff going on, right? So if you're taking the shoulder and upper extremity out of the equation, you can still get more work done on the assault bike. Okay, so both options are there. I would say from a space saving solution, maybe rowers are a better option, right? Either way, that's on you and how much space and what you want to do. So maybe you're looking at 3 to 4 rowers. You got some cardio equipment. That's a staple. You're going to need that in your space, right? Next comes strength training equipment. What do I need for strength training? And what I really love is that Rogue Fitness Supplies are these fold away squat racks, right? They fold up to the wall, they fold out when you want them, they're gone when you don't. For those of you that are trying to best utilize a small component of your clinic, or maybe you're trying to put them along one wall space, but you still need the floor space available for maybe it's got turf, maybe you're pushing sleds, or you just want that space for extra room, right? Barbell space. Having fold away squat racks is a really nice perk, right? And these fold-away racks are really not that pricey as far as I'm concerned. I think $400 or $500 will get you a nice fold-away squat rack, well constructed from Rogue. They have it shipped to you in like 3 hours. It's ridiculous how efficient they are. But I think they're really solid equipment, and it's worth checking out the fold-away squat racks, right? That would allow you, again, if you're looking at trying to triple people up, groups of 3, maybe you're looking at 3 to 4 squat racks along one wall. Would be more than enough to get some strength training done. If you're having folks do a pressing session, you can get their bars in the rig. If you're having them do back squats or front squats, their bars can be from the rig. They also got pull-up options, right? So you can work on strict pulling strength or hang some rings from the pull-up or from the rig itself and be able to do some upper extremity strength training with that, right? The next question becomes barbells, right? If you're gonna utilize barbells in the clinic, you need to go bars and plates, and this is where things can start to get pricey a little bit, right? Having 4 to 6 barbells available in your clinic, you're also gonna want some men's bars, some women's bars, and maybe some training bars that are only 10 to 15 pounds, right? Having options for all 3 in your clinic space if you're gonna have people doing barbell strength training. I would strongly recommend this, right? Because we know the ability to progressively overload someone with a barbell far exceeds any other strength training equipment that we have. And barbells are not that scary when people are being coached appropriately. So here you are running this small group style class with a coach who knows what they're doing and can safely implement barbell training for folks that maybe have no other option to do that in their community. So you need to get a handful of barbells. And barbell storage options, there are many. You can get horizontal barbell storage racks, you can get vertical barbell storage racks. You can put them away and they don't really take up much space. The plate storage may take up a little bit more space. You're gonna have to explore that as well as you go along. How many bumper plates do we need to be able to outfit this many people? Start small. As you start to realize that you're running out of plates, then you know next month when bills start being paid that you can make another equipment order with some more plates. The other easier, more cost-effective option is to get a run of kettlebells, right? And so maybe you're like, we're not quite ready for barbell training yet. We're gonna first invest in kettlebell training, which would mean that you're putting the squat racks, the barbells, and the plates on the back burner. You're looking at doing that later. And you're first gonna invest in a kettlebell rack and a bunch of kettlebells, a wide run of weights, anywhere from 9 pounds all the way up to 53 pounds. And even if you got folks stronger than that, you're looking at maybe up to 72 pounds, right? And getting enough kettlebells that everyone could eventually have 2. If you could do double kettlebell training, double kettlebell front squats, presses, deadlifts, there's a number of things that you can do if you got every individual to have 2 kettlebells in their hands. And this is something that we're still buying more of. Being a gym that's been in existence for going on 8 years, we're still feeling the need like, hey, we could use a few more at this weight range. We could use a few more at this weight range. So again, start small. realize when you ran out and then next month comes up, you need to buy more kettlebells, right? So having some way to put some load in people's hands is very, very important. You've got some cardio equipment that you selected, maybe 3 to 4 bikes or rowers, depending on what you want to do. And then you've got some kettlebells. And so now you can load people up and get their heart rate up, and you can start to mix those elements in a lot of different creations, right? You can do long, steady state aerobic work. You can do short interval sprint work. You can do some strength training, chipper stuff, body weight gymnastics movements. There's a lot that you can start to do with just those couple of implements. From there, you can really start to get crazy. If you want to do med balls and you want to do wall ball targets on the wall, and you want to do dumbbells, if you want to add dumbbells to your arsenal, you can. But I would strongly suggest simplifying and getting enough to supply a class full of 5 to 8 people before you start getting a lot of things, right? Go deep in a couple different avenues that'll start to let you run really efficient, well-run classes and not be scrambling to be like, you use this piece and you use this something different. And that will start to build the cohesiveness of the class and the fitness space that you're offering. And then as time goes on, you can start to diversify that from there, right? Again, if I've got a space that's anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 square feet, right? That's going to be tight, but you can run some classes in there. For reference, our gym is close to 6,000 square feet, but we've got more than enough space, right? So between 1,500 to 2,000 square feet is really going to be the lowest that you're going to want to go for a community fitness where you're bringing folks in, maybe 2 to 3 class offerings a day, one in the morning, a lunchtime offering, and maybe an evening class, where you've got somebody on your team that's in charge of this, that you're drawing up a plan for them to take the lead on this, bring memberships in. What you decide as a membership is up to you and your team. You're gonna charge folks for this. Is this once they've been a patient? This is something, a free option. I would strongly recommend charging for this, right? What you're offering for them is of extreme value, right? So I would strongly recommend charging for that option. Putting someone in charge of this, having them coach and run the classes, having that revenue come in and be able to reinvest into the gym for the first year, right? Reinvest in the equipment that you're offering and the product that you're offering. Allow folks to get excited about it and then see what that's being able to do. From an exposure standpoint, you can't beat it, because now your clinic is not known as just the place you go to when you're hurt. You're known as the health and wellness place. You're known as the place to go 5 days a week. Show up over there at those guys at Health HQ. They've got a gym, they run classes. You can ask them questions. You know, the docs are in, they can pop in every so often and see how you're doing. If you're a post-op patient and now you transfer over into this fitness avenue, they can follow up on you 6 months to a year. How you been doing? How's that shoulder doing, right? There's nothing that beats that kind of exposure in long-term health and wellness benefits that you're truly investing in from a clinic standpoint in your patients, right? And they come in, they're used to seeing you at the clinic, they're used to a face to the name and your whole team, and you can start to offer them maybe snack options, protein options, whatever you have after class. They can start to get the full, complete picture of health, wellness, nutrition, stress management, exercise, you name it. You're starting to lead with that because you built out this component of your clinic. So again, there's a lot of questions to answer with this. It largely depends on you, your space, your community, what other avenues, what other options are available in your town. And then we can start to have a deeper discussion about what might fit best for you, your clinic, and the populations that you serve as well. I'm all ears. I'm happy to help you guys the best I can. Please reach out, send us a message, and we'll get this discussion underway. If you're somebody who's thinking about this, who's chewing this idea over of saying, hey, I want to bring some people in and start getting them fit, right? So just a few ideas to start tossing around, lead you into the weekend. I am excited because I'm going to see Garth Brooks this weekend, right? He's my dude. He's my one guy. Like, everybody's got somebody. Maybe you're a Dave Matthews person. I don't know. You followed the Grateful Dead for a while. I'm not sure. But Garth is my dude. I haven't seen him since '97. I was 7 years old, sitting in the stairway at the Pontiac Silverdome, getting after it. So we're excited to go down to Ford Field and watch some Garth this weekend. Completely unphysio related, but something that I'm geeked about. Coming up from a fitness athlete standpoint, we've got a number of courses on the books, and I was just flipping through the calendar. I mean, now through June is going to be crazy. The one that stands out to me the most, I mean, we're going to New Jersey next weekend, which I'm pumped about. Colorado is coming up quick, and there's only a handful of seats left. Myself, the man himself, Jeff Moore, the other man himself, Alan Fredendahl, all going to be out there at Clancy's place out in Colorado and Windsor. And the room is almost full, and we're going to take that course down soon. So if you want to join us, it's going to be a fun weekend having the whole ice staff there. So join us for the fitness athlete management in Colorado. And then we've also got Nashville coming up with my friends Zach and Alexis Morgan, who are going to help us out down CrossFit Hendersonville. So if you're looking to make a cool little vacation, a little weekend getaway, go see Nashville, knock out some CEUs, go join us down there in Tennessee. That's coming up in April. So a lot of fun things coming on. Thanks for tuning on. I look forward to hearing from you if this is something that excites you. Otherwise, go enjoy your weekend, have fun, and roll into next week energized and ready to make some patients better. So thanks for joining me this morning, guys. Have a great weekend. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.